And welcome back to Blake's Takes, everyone. Thank you again for joining us for another episode. As always, with me, my co-host, Garrett.
Hey, guys.
And today we are going to review what, Garrett?
Blue Beetle, baby.
Blue Beetle. Let's talk about it because I'm sure other people are not, according to those box office numbers, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, I mean,
It's unfortunate.
it was expected, but
Yeah. Okay. So, Blue Beetle, the technically first movie in the DCU.
I literally don't even try to keep track anymore. I don't even try.
Well, it was made for the DCEU, and I
Mhm.
think they're just rolling it into the DCU now.
Yeah.
So this is technically the first introduction to the DCU that was not planned at all for that. So, I mean, that's just DC for you.
To be honest, I mean, it has like no attachment to any other thing.
No,
so,
it feels
so
very
it-
standalone.
Yes, so it could very easily
Yeah.
be whatever they want it to be.
That's true.
So,
That's a good point because it does feel very standalone, which I think is a good thing, especially in times that it's in right now. I mean, who knows what they sort of cut out of the movie to make it feel more standalone
yeah.
as not
Like
a
they
part of
could
the
have had a
DC.
cameo or something, or yeah.
Yeah. But initial reactions on Blue Beetle, I think it's a solid 3.5 stars. It's a fun family movie. And it's a movie that's definitely very formulated. The villain, I think, is probably the weakest part of the movie, the antagonist.
Yes.
But overall, I think that strong family bond.
You fucker.
My phone went off. Okay. Anyways, but I think that strong family bond is what really holds this movie together.
Yeah.
And some of the performances and comedic roles, like George Lopez, obviously. But I'd say a solid, 3.5 stars.
I honestly, I was like right in agreement with you there. Like,
Yeah.
part of me wanted to give it like 4 stars, but I'm just like, I was
Nothing's
like that,
pushing it to that.
Nah, it felt
No.
like too high. It felt too high.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of, an overall fun
Yeah.
watch, solid movie. Definitely, I feel like it's one of the better projects to come out of DC, honestly.
In recent years, yes, I would say so.
And personally, I love Blue Beetle's like power set and
Power sets are
everything.
dope.
It's
I literally remember like he was definitely my go-to character in Injustice 2. It was Blue Beetle. That power set was just too dope. All those combo moves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nah, he's a cool character
Yeah.
for sure.
And yeah, it just kind of sucks that it is coming out in the time that it is. Cause like not only do you have what's been happening with DC and like, oh, is this, people questioning, well, what is this a part of? DCEU, DCU, who knows? And then not only that, but you also have the writers and the actor strike going on. So they can't even talk about their movies right now.
Nope.
Imagine, putting that hard work, filming this movie, all the writers too, all the post-production, all the years that went into it, and you can't even promote your own fucking movie.
Bro, it's not like the fucking writers are happy about it
I
either.
know, no,
like,
they're
I
not.
mean, yeah, they put in all this work and they can't even like reap the benefits.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know. It's just, and it sucks too because this character is not very popular.
Right.
So
Right.
it needed like a lot of promotion and stuff for
Yeah.
people to, actually like be like, oh, this is a new superhero.
Right.
Let's go see this in theaters. And with all this shit going on, it didn't even matter.
Yeah, it sucks because like not only is this a very new character for DC movie world, but it's also the first DC Latino superhero as well.
Mhm.
So it's just coming out at a bad time, unfortunately. And what sucks too with it like not grossing that much money is I feel like this is how DC fans are, bro. They complain about not getting what they want, maybe not getting the movies, characters that they want made, and they never show up to the fucking movies. Everything just bombs.
See,
And
but
they're great at Twitter finger, but they're not great at going to the theaters.
I don't think they're to blame at this point. I think
You don't think the fans are to blame any bit?
Nope, I don't because
Because they've just torn everything away from
has
us.
ruined their fucking reputation.
Warner Brothers has
Yeah.
ruined DC's reputation.
They've ruined it.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't be mad at us after 10 years of disappointment. See what I'm saying? You can't.
Yeah. Especially in the middle of this whole reboot.
You can't keep dropping the ball, and then expect people to be so excited to go see a superhero that they might have not even heard of.
But you gotta support. Like I just feel bad for everyone who's worked on the movie.
I understand your perspective, but
Yeah.
fans don't see it like that.
Not
And
to mention-
also, not to mention, it's gonna be on fucking Max in
Right.
30 days.
Right.
So they're like, oh, why am I gonna go to the theater? I can just watch it at home in 30
Yeah.
days. They don't care.
Just sucks.
That's their own damn fault for putting it on streaming so soon. So I 100% put that on Warner Brothers for ruining the box office success. And then, yeah, obviously the writer strike.
Yeah, writers and actor strike.
Yeah.
Crazy. Look, it's only opening weekend, but it opened at 25 million domestically, 43 million as a total for globally.
That's horrible.
It's bad. That's bad. But
Do you know the budget on this one?
104 million.
Okay, so it's not
Which the
huge.
yeah,
that's low.
That's actually a good
I
budget for a superhero movie.
With the amount of CGI and shit,
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be higher.
No, and the visual effects are pretty good.
They were.
I didn't have a problem with them.
No problem with the visual effects. I thought they looked good.
So yeah, I think that's a pretty solid budget for the superhero movies we see these days.
Yeah.
I mean, Flash had what, $250 million budget?
Did not need that.
Did not. Secret Invasion, $212 million budget.
And they both look worse in my opinion.
Correct.
So
that's good to know. That's good to see that I really had no issues with the visual effects.
What were the things you liked about this movie initially?
Well, I'm gonna keep going back to that family, just the whole family theme of this movie.
Yeah, no, the family aspect was probably like the strongest thing in this
Definitely
movie.
the strongest, because I feel like when it comes to superheroes, you may not get that strong family connection, that strong family bond as much as you would like to. Because think about it, the biggest thing with superheroes is that there has to be a big sacrifice, something to lose for, to gain something. And a lot of that does involve someone that's close to them.
Yeah.
So it was really nice to see. And I mean,
the closer you are to people, the more threat they're going to be.
Right. And I mean, there is definitely a loss in this movie and a sacrifice that is made, but like still, this is such a strong family bond that you usually don't see in superhero movies, I feel like.
Nah, it's more like they're the lone wolf. They got to do it on their own. That kind of thing. Like when you got Batman, Superman. I mean, like Superman has like Lois Lane and shit, but that's about his. I wouldn't exactly call that a family. That's more of just like a love interest.
He's got his mom. That's very heavy.
See, but he doesn't like. I feel like he doesn't see his mom all that often. It's not like he's
always flying around, fucking saving the world.
Exactly. Yeah. So,
what else did I like? I like the city.
Okay.
What was it called? Palmyra City.
Yeah.
Did it remind you of a city? Because I know it's a fictional city, and originally in the comics, it takes place in El Paso, Texas.
Yeah.
That's where Blue Beetle's character is from, his origin, everything. But they decided to move away to that to do a fictional city to kind of give him like his own, metropolis, his own Gotham.
Yeah, which honestly, I didn't even think anything of it either, because like this being DC, they always have their own like fictional city. So I was like, okay, cool.
Which is interesting because that's the one thing that they switched in Shazam. They went from a fictional city to doing it in Philadelphia.
Interesting.
Yeah. To make it more like grounded.
Yeah.
But no, I did like the city. What do you have a city that it reminded you of?
Like a real city?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, cause Gotham, I guess, I don't know.
Did you think it was funny he was wearing a Gotham University shirt?
Gotham Law University.
Or Gotham Law, yeah. I was like, okay, when I first saw that, I was like, bro, who the fuck is going to Gotham to go to school?
Yeah.
Gotham's like a crime shithole. Who wants to go there?
Not me.
But of a real city, it didn't really remind me anything, but
it reminded me of Miami.
Oh, I was good.
You didn't get that feeling?
To be honest, it kind of reminded me of Nueva York in Spider-Verse.
Low-key? Yeah. It did have that, because it was definitely way more high-tech than your typical modern city today.
Uh-huh.
But it also had, all the palm trees and the Keys area and all that. So it reminded me of Miami.
Okay.
What else did I like?
George Lopez?
Yeah, George Lopez.
Yeah.
Big W for Blue Beetle for sure.
Uh-huh. Honestly, I wonder like how much less I would have liked this movie without George Lopez.
No, I absolutely agree, because I didn't know how much time we were going to get of him. He was a big part of this movie.
I am glad he was like a main character.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, he just shows you why, we were all tuned into George Lopez at 3 a.m. on Nick at Night,
fucking
staying
great,
up late,
Love
waking
him.
up to that damn intro. But nah, he was great. And like, I thought he added a great, obviously comedic effect to the movie, but he also has some great emotional scenes with Jaime.
Yeah, he did.
What did you like about Blue Beetle?
Well, everything that you just said, basically. But also, one thing that I did like is I did like the fight scenes in this movie.
Okay.
I thought they were good. And like we said earlier, the CGI in this movie was also very good, especially on the budget, now that you mentioned that.
Right.
But, because I thought they made great use of like the armor's versatility and like the different weapons that it can make and everything. So I don't know. I just thought it showed the armor's abilities very well. And I also liked that during those fight scenes, it was like surprisingly gruesome. Like, I don't know. There were some scenes where I was like, damn.
The
like,
one that's,
when he got the armor for the first time and he was like, and it was like putting him.
Oh,
and,
yes.
Yeah, and it was like going on his back.
It was hosting to him.
Dude, that shit was, I was like, what the fuck kind of horror is this?
It's kind of gross.
Yeah.
One that sticks out to me was when they get in the big bug, the beetle, and they fucking step on that one guy. And it's just like dude, dangling him around.
I was going to bring that up.
I was like, God damn.
I was going to bring that up later, but yeah. Okay, so this whole movie, I was like, he kept saying like, we're not killers, we're not killers. I was like, Rudy doesn't have a fucking problem with it. He just fucking stomped on this guy.
Yeah. Again, tying into, you know, what's great about this movie too is like his family ended up helping out a lot, you know, during these combat missions.
But let's get into what we didn't like.
Okay. Obviously, what I didn't like is the antagonist in this movie.
Yeah. Which,
I mean, the antagonist is played by actress that's been in the game for a long time with Susan Sarandon. Susan Sarandon. She's been in a shit ton of movies. So she's a great actress, but yeah, I wasn't feeling it. I don't know. There was no good motivation.
No. It was like her motivation was literally weak. It was just power.
Yeah.
Like, that's so dumb to me. Like, have a stronger purpose than that. Like, have a vengeance or something.
It was just very typical.
Yeah.
You know,
evil corporate white lady. Like, that was literally it.
And there was just no connection there. Like, there's no reason to connect with her at all.
No.
Or even more so the reason to hate her. Like, a villain, a great villain gives us reason to also like maybe kind of see their way. But also at the same time, there wasn't really a reason to like fucking hate her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I think, honestly, I thought it could have been a lot better if they fleshed out the relationship between her and Carapax more.
Facts.
Because I was like kind of confused at their relationship in the beginning. She's like, I'm trying to put you back together. And I was like, okay, like, are y'all together?
Right.
Does he owe you a debt? Like,
and
what?
They only very briefly explain it
in the flashbacks at the very end. I was like, it just like made no sense. I'm like, why is he taking orders from her? Like, what does he owe her? Because I know this dude isn't just doing this for money or whatever that she's paying him.
Right.
Like, it just, I don't know, that relationship didn't make sense. And he ended up being like the main physical threat. So it would have been nice to know why exactly our hero is fighting this guy and why his opposer was so dedicated to killing Blue Beetle. It didn't really make sense. No, and then all of a sudden, like, they have that little flashback moment, and then now he's not trying to kill him.
Yeah.
Like, and
like, it just happened so quickly.
It was too quick. And you know, when they were going through his memories or whatever, it kind of like gave you reason to believe that they wiped his memories somehow. Like, he didn't remember all the wrong that Vicky had done to him. And then once he finally remembered, then he turned on Vicky.
Yeah.
And that's how that ended. But I don't know, that part was just like very,
that could have been fleshed out more.
Yeah.
Another thing that I didn't like was probably the first act of the movie. And I enjoyed the second and the third act, but the first act just felt like things were happening very quickly, which, you know, it's an origin story, so things kind of got to get going.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it almost felt like plot armor, like things were just happening way too smoothly. Like when Jaime said he needed to go find Jenny Cord.
Yeah.
And he was going back to downtown and going to the Cord Tower.
Yeah.
And he just pulls up in the truck and what do you know? She's walking out of the building. Boom, hops in the truck. Like, it was just all happening so quickly. And it's
like when she was sneaking around trying to escape, and he like pulled up right next to her. It seemed like there were a lot of coincidences.
Yes,
and also George Lopez, Rudy, just happened to be building like that magnetic device or whatever that EMP thing that messed with all their cameras. Like, what?
And before that, when he first goes to Cord Towers to get a new job, and like just 2 seconds later, she's just running into him, giving him this box with the scarab saying, protect. Like, it was just all too coincidental.
Yeah.
Too coincidental.
And if she wasn't under suspicion at that point, because the guards like listened to her when she said like, go check that area over there or whatever.
Right.
I'm like, you literally could have held onto that box, said, go check the area, and then walked out yourself.
just way too coincidental. It was just happening way too smoothly.
Yeah. There was just like some, plot armor and continuity errors that I noticed throughout this movie. Like one that I noticed immediately. So you remember how she stole, okay, so I'm calling him Dr. Sanchez because that's literally what he's credited as in the end credits, even though that's not his actual name. You remember?
Oh, because he says,
he said, that's not my name. It's not Sanchez.
Yeah.
And then he like finally corrects her at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
But so when Dr. Sanchez got hit, when she stole his key card to get into the room, and took the scarab, he comes back into the room and notices that the scarab's missing. He didn't have his key card.
It's locked.
He wouldn't have been able to get in.
Right.
He would have noticed the key card was missing before he noticed the scarab was missing.
Good pickup.
Yeah. So that bugged me. And another thing that pissed me off, again with Dr. Sanchez, so this is towards the end of the movie.
Yes.
He locked himself in the room and like was telling him to run or go or whatever.
Yeah.
And gets murked.
Yeah.
And fucking Jaime made that sacrifice so pointless because he stood there watching him get murdered through the window.
And 2 seconds later, Carapax just blasted the door.
He got a 5-second head start because of this sacrifice.
I know, I didn't like
that. And I was like, bro, you could have lived. Both of you could have just lived. Mm-hmm. But instead, you got killed for no reason.
He just run out and shut the door behind him?
Well, I mean, I guess it was like the key code on the inside. Key code's on the
inside, but it's like
that. But either way,
like,
I mean,
why? Like
honestly,
at that point, why? Well, no, Blue Beetle's suit wasn't working yet.
It wasn't working yet.
Still
but
powering up.
Yeah, I was honestly, I was more pissed at Jaime because I was like, bro, fucking run. He is sacrificing his life and you are totally wasting it.
Yeah.
So I was more pissed at.
I remember that.
I was more pissed at him in that scene. I mean, I got like a list of nitpicky shit if you want me to just go through it.
Go ahead.
All right, yeah, I already said this, but Rudy killing that guy by stepping on him like the whole time, Jaime was trying to say like, I'm not a killer, I'm not a killer, but then Rudy just fucking kills that guy out of nowhere. I was like, I would think them being in the same family, they'd have like the same family values of like not murdering people, but clearly Rudy didn't care.
But we stepped the fuck on that one person.
I know, bro. And he like kept walking around with him. Oh, and what was wrong with the OMAC that the dude was already wearing?
Wasn't. You mean for like soldiers?
Yes.
Like what the actual plan was?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bro,
like, that could actually work.
That thing was like effective.
Yeah, it was.
And clearly gave him a run for his money.
Right.
And it was a piece of armor that he could literally just be like, boom, go. Yeah. And it was like, there was nothing wrong with that armor. Like, yes, the one in the end was obviously more powerful and everything. But you're telling me she couldn't have started like her army or whatever her master plan was with the OMAC that she already developed?
Could have made billions off of that.
Yeah, she could have. I think that was very impressive technology that she could have done whatever she wanted to do.
That's why I'm saying I wish in the movie there was just more of a backstory of like, we know the scarab is important, but like, give us more of a reason why it's important. We know it's some alien technology and it's from a different planet, but also like, why did it choose Jaime? Obviously, we know Jaime is an honorable character. That's a reason why there's a fucking movie about Blue Beetle out now. But it's like, it didn't show us like why it's hosting to Jaime.
But yeah, and I think a really good way that they could have gave us more answers about like why was Jaime so special,
right,
and whatnot. The sentient, the scarab itself that's like sentient, like he can have like full on conversations with it.
Right.
Why didn't we get more answers out of that? Because the scarab itself would have known, and it could have said like Jaime, I chose you because da 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 da, or something like that. But instead, it seemed like
have been too cliche though, or
maybe. But I mean, it seemed like they were kind of like using his dad like after he passed as like more of like this
reasoning.
Like this is why you were chosen, or like this is your purpose, like that kind of thing. So
yeah,
I don't know, but. I mean, yeah, it would have been nice to get like an answer of why it was Jaime so special.
What did you think of Cholo Maridueña as Blue Beetle?
I thought he was good.
He was good.
I thought it was a good casting.
Do you watch Cobra Kai?
No.
Okay. He's in Cobra Kai.
Okay.
Yeah. Which I think is why our friend Berto was really excited.
Yeah.
Because he loves Cobra Kai. What about Bruna Marquezine, Jenny Cord?
I mean, to be honest, like she was fine. Like I liked her too.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really have a problem with anybody in this cast. But to be honest, it's not like I'm super familiar with Blue Beetle comics and like what these characters are supposed to be like. But you know, from what I saw, it was fine.
Apparently, she's a huge star / actress in Brazil.
No
obviously,
idea.
we wouldn't know that.
Yeah,
but
no idea.
no. She's a big star over there, and she has like 45 million followers on Instagram.
Jesus.
Yeah, like she's
That's
known.
like up there.
Yeah, she's known.
Damn.
But that does remind me of another scene that I do not like. When I was going back earlier, with just like too many coincidences and stuff. So when they have that first job with Jaime and his sister,
Yeah.
and Jenny Cord is talking with her aunt outside of the bathroom, and he fucking interrupts and is like, "Hey, she said don't touch it." Like,
yeah.
what the fuck?
Nah, bro.
That's not happening.
Nah.
You're just gonna interrupt like that? You don't know who the fuck any of these people are. You're in this fucking $30 million home on the water.
No.
Like that's not happening.
No.
No.
You
Also did not hear enough of the conversation to do that.
Nobody's stepping up like that.
No.
Nobody. You had no like right to insert yourself in that conversation.
No.
But
so that's just another like
no,
little thing where
there's so
like,
many
all right,
there's
on.
so many like coincidences that like had to happen for this story to move forward.
Yes,
it just all seemed way too convenient.
Yes, it did. I think that's a good way to put this movie, is that it was very fun, great family movie, poor antagonist, and just too convenient.
And some like those being like the lazy writing moments.
Right. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Because like we were saying, there's just too many coincidences or moments that's just like okay, that happened too easily. That happened too easily.
It makes you like realize that okay, this being a superhero film, obviously this isn't reality, but those moments just make it feel like even less of a reality because it just kind of takes you out of it.
Right.
Like you can't really buy into the story because the story seems so fictional in that sense. You get what I'm saying?
Formulated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, so I also, and my last nitpick with this was the like predictable lines and scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just so predictable. Like dude, when they were at her childhood home, and they were about to kiss, I knew it. Like I literally I knew George Lopez was busting in before their lips touched. I knew it was gonna happen.
Before their lips touched.
Well, I mean, it always happens. It always happens. They have an emotional moment. They get close. They're about to kiss, but we're in the middle of the movie. We're not at the end yet. He doesn't get the girl yet. They can't kiss yet.
Bro, did you notice this part?
What?
He fucking had wood after that moment.
Oh yeah, he like covered his
waistbanded his shit.
I saw that. I didn't see that. I saw he like covered it with his top shirt. Yeah.
As a guy, I was like, oh, I know exactly what the fuck he just did.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was funny. That's a realistic moment.
It was. But do you think that was intentional?
What, like improvised? You think that was improvised?
I don't know.
What if he actually fucking
what if he actually got?
Because I mean, she's fine. I would too. It's a good question for the director or Sholo.
Be like, yeah, that wasn't scripted.
Yeah. Nah, as a guy, I was like, I know what that motherfucker just did.
Nah, I did notice that. That shit was funny.
Mm-hmm. That house kind of is another reason why it reminded me of like Miami.
Yeah. Looked like a drug lord's former house.
It did. It did.
I
think, what were you going to say?
I was just going to be like, to be honest, that's about all I got on Blue Beetle. You know, it's a fun watch.
It is. I liked it more than I thought I would. I will say that.
No, like I said earlier, one of the better DC projects.
Yeah.
But you know, lazy writing moments, a little bit of cheesy lines, predictable scenes.
Yeah.
Just like a classic superhero film, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm thinking kind of like a good way to put Blue Beetle if you're more of a Marvel fan and you're not familiar with Blue Beetle. I don't know. You tell me if I'm over exaggerating, but I feel like Blue Beetle kind of feels like DC's Spider-Man in a way. You know, he's a high school kid dealing with high school problems.
He's not a high school kid.
He is. Well, okay. In the comics, he is.
Okay.
My bad. In the comics, he is.
Yeah.
Okay. He's out of college. He's not.
He just graduated with a bachelor's.
You're right. But I'm saying like also in the comics, he is a high school kid when this does happen to him.
He's a Teen Titan.
Yes, he is a Teen Titan.
Yeah.
Glad you brought that up. And yeah, he's dealing with like those teen problems and family problems as well. So I feel like in a way he's kind of like DC's Spider-Man,
All right.
Where something like, this freak accident happens to him.
Yeah.
As a high school kid.
Yeah.
So that could be a good way to look at it too. If you're not a huge DC fan, you're more of a Marvel guy and you want to, try to experience a new character. But yeah, he is a Teen Titan. Do you
have you seen the animated movies with him as in the Teen Titans? And he's like, it's him. Starfire is like a leadership role. She's like older than all the Teen Titans, but she's there like training everybody. Okay.
Is she a teen?
No.
Okay.
You can say that.
I did see some clips of that.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's her and Dick Grayson. And she's like taller than him and it's kind of funny. And they're like
I was like, that's not the Starfire I remember.
Oh my gosh. But, and it's so funny because they actually make like so many sexual jokes in those movies.
Really?
Yeah. I think, Starfire said something about stamina or something like that. And then, but then she talked about how Dick is quite sufficient and then he was like, Kari, like, stop talking. Like she was about to, cause she doesn't understand social norms and what's okay to talk about. She's about to start talking about their sex life.
Not to mention his name is Dick. So that kind of makes it funnier.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, it's her in a leadership role. Okay. Thanks for taking me off track. But, Raven, Beast Boy, Blue Beetle, obviously, Robin is Damian Wayne.
Yeah.
Is that it? Am I missing somebody? I think that's it.
No Cyborg.
No.
Okay.
No. So if I remember correctly, he kind of takes like Cyborg's spot, kind of, because he's the technology guy. Yeah. So
and there's a few things that changed in the comics as well. So like in the very first edition, he was the third Blue Beetle. The second Blue Beetle is Ted Korg. The first one, I forget, it was like Garrett something. I don't know, something.
Yeah, it was a Garrett.
Yeah, it was a Garrett.
Yeah.
And then there was a new issue in like 2011 or something, and they kind of retconned and was Ted Korg didn't exist in that universe. I think that was like the New 52
reboot.
Yeah.
What was the point of this conversation?
I don't know what the point was. I'm just kind of giving it a little history on Blue Beetle. Oh, no. I know where I was leading to.
Yeah, you were going somewhere.
I was going to say, because we were talking about Teen Titan, I wanted to ask you if you think if we're ever going to get Teen Titans on the big screen. Like, I know we have the TV show. Obviously, we have all the animated movies and everything and animated shows. But are we ever going to get a Teen Titans on the big screen?
I mean, I would hope so, but it wouldn't really be a Teen Titans now, would it? Because he's 22.
I'm not saying Blue Beetle has to be in it.
All right. But I mean, it would make sense,
right,
if they're going to put him on live action. And that's like,
or they just call
that's like one of the biggest groups that he's affiliated with.
Or they just call it Titans. I don't feel that.
Nah, bro.
It's gotta be Teen Titans.
Yeah, make it Teen Titans. But, having a teen cast for anything gets difficult.
It's hard.
It gets difficult. Oh, man.
Raven, Starfire, Cyborg. Well, we got Cyborg.
Hate our Cyborg. Well, he doesn't exist anymore, right?
You don't like our Cyborg?
In the DCEU?
Yeah.
No.
You didn't like him?
No.
No?
I didn't. I mean, the actor was fine, but the design for his suit, horrible. Horrible.
You didn't like it?
It's awful. Like, dude, whenever I picture Cyborg, I imagine some big ass dude. Like some big teched out motherfucker. And why is he so scrawny? Like, dude, do you remember when he was fighting Superman and he had like his little extension arms that came out and like attacked him? I saw that and I was like, I'm like, that is so laughable. You think that's going to do anything? Like, dude, they looked like the width of a twig. It was, I have never liked the design for Cyborg in the DCU. However, I will say the design for Blue Beetle, I loved his costume design. I thought it looked awesome. And it looked like he was wearing like a real suit a lot of the times. Like, it wasn't all CGI, which I think was a major contributor to that.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean, overall, effects in general were solid.
Yeah.
I had no issues with the effects, practical, VFX, like, didn't have a problem, especially on the budget that was on, $104 million. Is not that much when you compare it to other DC superhero movies. So yeah, They did a good job. If I had to give you a rundown of the superhero movies this year, want to give me a ranking of them? So we just recently got Blue Beetle,
All right.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Guardians 3, The Flash, Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods. Am I missing one?
I didn't see that. Or wait.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I did.
did.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did.
I forgot about that.
Okay, that says something.
It's been a minute.
Uh-huh.
Well, honestly, I remembered liking it. I like that. No, I like that movie.
Yeah.
But it was a while ago.
Did we get one in January? No, I think that's it, right?
I think so. I didn't even remember Shazam 2, so obviously
Did we get a Marvel?
I'm not a reliable source.
All right, so where does Blue Beetle place among those others I just listed?
Obviously first place going to Across the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
2, obviously Guardians 3.
Yes.
Number 3, to be honest, I kind of want to put Blue Beetle at 3rd.
Yeah.
I'll do Blue Beetle at 3rd. 4th, I'll go Shazam 2, bro.
Really?
Now,
Okay.
now that I'm racking my brain again, I remembered liking it, and the CGI was good in that too. And
Better CGI than The Flash?
yes. Yeah, nah, bro. Flash was just a shit show. I don't know.
Damn. Okay.
But yeah. Not that I hated The Flash. Like, it was okay.
Yeah.
But
no, there's a lot of people that fucking hate it.
yeah, I didn't hate it,
Oh, no.
but definitely the least impressive project of this year.
Oh my God, we forgot one.
What?
I knew we were forgetting one.
What?
Ant-Man.
Oh.
Ant-Man Quantumania.
All right.
Which that works
That-
actually because
Yeah, that'll be last place.
that's going
Yeah,
last.
that can be last.
Okay. Damn.
Yeah.
That's bad. That's how forgettable that movie was.
Yep.
I forgot all about that fucking movie.
All right.
Shit.
But yeah, that can be last place. That's
Okay.
fine.
So for you got Across the Spider-Verse 1, Guardians 3, 2, Blue Beetle 3. I can agree. The Shazam 2, 4, Flash 5, and
Quantumania 6.
Quantumania 6. All right. Well, that's pretty much going to do it for this review of Blue Beetle. Overall, a solid movie. Just get to the theaters and see it, people, because, you know, you don't want the DCU to fucking fail before it even starts. You don't want the DCU to crumble before it starts.
You know what? Maybe those execs need to get fucking humbled. How about that?
Oh, I think they've been getting humbled. That's why they're in fucking losing money and getting dog shit reviews on their other movies. And
Disney needs to get humbled too.
both WB and Disney are getting fucking humbled.
It really makes me wonder what's going on. Like, I'm very curious, like, who is the top decision maker?
At the head of the table.
Who's
the top
who is
dog?
approving this shit?
Like what shit?
All of it. The fucking live actions for Disney. Come up with something original, because obviously the live actions of your old shit is not working.
Last one that worked was The Lion King.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed that.
You did. I made a shit ton of money too. So
Yeah,
that was a win for him. Not to mention too, it's saturated. It is so saturated with the TV shows, the MCU shows, even the Star Wars shows. Like
yeah.
we were happy. I'm not gonna lie. I was fucking happy with it at first. I think you were too. I was like, oh shit, we're gonna get this many Marvel projects, this many Star Wars projects, live action Star Wars shows. Oh shit, I'm about it.
We now know that quality over quantity is not the way to go.
Yeah, and you could still have quantity, but
Dude,
you gotta have that quality.
It seems for the quantity that we're getting, it's sacrificing all the quality.
It is sacrificing because you're fucking
Bro, they
pushing.
they were pumping them out so fast. I remember a time where like I couldn't keep up with shit.
No,
Like once WandaVision came out, it was just boom, 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 boom. I was like, motherfucker,
You know what?
hold off.
I saw a crazy tweet the other day, and it said, you know what's crazy? We've gotten 18 projects in the MCU since we've seen Captain America last. Anthony Mackie's Captain America.
Yeah,
We've gotten 18 projects since then.
that's insane to me.
18.
That's insane.
And I mean, obviously, it gives us a lot to talk about. Look what we're doing. But I love talking about other movies too. Don't get me wrong. You were the one that got me into all this geek shit.
Yes, I was.
I was more of the
You're
indie
welcome.
film. I was more of like the indie film or, knowing my directors and shit. Horror movie shit.
Bro, I think it all started with fucking Avatar. I showed you Avatar and you liked Avatar.
Avatar was really good, obviously. Man, I can't wait to fucking just pump out horror movie shit. I'm so excited.
I know you are.
I'm so excited. All right. So that's going to do it for Blue Beetle. Get your ass to the theaters. Don't, these people work hard on these movies. There's a lot of fucking work that goes into it. So go to the theaters, man. I know it gets expensive these days. Go get a Regal pass. Go get an AMC pass, $20 a month. Go see a movie once a day. It'll be worth it. But anyways, thanks again for sticking around. If you made it this far, make sure to give us a rating and review on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, Amazon, wherever you're listening to this podcast. Always great to see your reviews. Make sure to give us a follow on our social media accounts. Garrett has finally made a Letterboxd account, so make sure you go follow it.
I only reviewed 2 movies, so
yeah, I know you need to start.
I gotta get on it.
Put up a Blue Beetle review.
I'll put up a Blue Beetle
because you need to start
review.
pumping out the reviews. So
I'm getting like a lot of random followers though. So
it's because I put your link in the bio.
Oh
yeah,
thanks guys.
His Letterboxd link is in our bio now, so give it a follow. Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks.
Basically force him to make one. But yes, as always with me, my co-host Garrett. He's yawning right now.
Oh, you still had to say more of your outro.
Oh yeah, that's right. I always forget how to do our outro.
Yeah, I know you do.
All right. As always with me, my co-host Garrett. We'll see you next time on Blake Stakes.
See you guys.